Hello, everybody. This is our next session of the Fastery of Tea sessions with Jan. And let's hear, Jan, how your last week was. All the shifts, good and bad.
Well, good. After the session, I wrote down that I was working on my relationship with my daughter. My granddaughter was feeling good about it. My granddaughter had a friend that moved away last year, and she was in town over the weekend. And so she got to spend a couple of days with her. And interesting enough, my daughter sent me pictures, and what I got out of the pictures, why this girl is her best friend, is because she loves her so much. And trying to get my daughter to get them to Skype because she caught her talking to this girl about her dad's upcoming marriage and that kind of thing, and felt like she really needed it. We took, interesting. We ended this session with taking all 5 of my husbands and 2 boyfriends, putting them on a stage, and we put them in, they were in a chorus line in tutus.
Right.
Which was interesting. And then after the performance, instead of going up and giving each one of them roses, I gave each one of them a black box. And what you said, give them back what they gave you.
Right.
And as I was doing it, I realized that, and I know people say this, but, I can kind of document every single husband married me because of what they could get from me, mother for their daughters and so forth. And the 2 boyfriends.
Right.
First one thought I'd be a good wife. The last one told me that, he didn't feel good about himself, and I treated him so well that he felt really his confidence was good, and so he was going to go out and find the woman he really wanted. And so it kind of fit together, all 7 of them. And so I gave them the little black box, and it was real pretty, so they thought it was a gift. And so I handed it to them. What I gave them back was themselves.
Right.
Whatever they were giving me, their selfishness or their narcissism or whatever, I gave it back to them. And then we ended with the last one. I was having trouble letting go of because the relationship had been really good, happy, satisfying, a lot of fun, a lot of good memories from it. And I had all that tied to him. And so you said something to the effect of keep the good memories. So I was able to do that because I kind of internalized those and detached them from him, which was really good.
Right.
And I think that's kind of how it ended. So that was really good. And then, excuse me, I moved on to, this was huge. I was talking to, I've had issues with my dad, all my life, and started working on them in October 2013 when I went to my first transformational weekend. And just constantly, I started working on it and then stopped blaming him for something and working. And I think my last session was about him constantly hitting me all the time. Just walk in the room and just punch me. So I did this session. Well, actually, it wasn't with you. It was with somebody else. Where I turned he and I into a little like a stuffed figurines, put us on a shelf in a souvenir shop, and then went and bought it, set it in the driveway, put firecrackers in it, lit it, and blew it up, kind of disintegrated. So we did that. And the very next day, I was talking to someone, and this was last Wednesday or after our session, and I was talking about my dad, and all of a sudden, my dad grew up one time having a house with no windows and chickens inside and the outhouse and no running water and, maybe barely electricity and, going out and picking kindling going picking kindling when he was, I think he said he was like 3 or 4 years old. He was out picking up, for to build a fire. And he had a 6th grade education. And I was thinking about that and I thought, wow, my father accomplished so much in his lifetime, starting out with those limitations. And it was the first time in my life that instead of hating my father, I was actually proud of him.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, my father was smart and he worked hard and, he treated his kids bad. He treated his wife bad. But you know what? He set some goals and he reached those goals and exceeded them, and he did really well. Just using his brain he had and without the education and his 2 hands. And that was the first time that I could be proud of him. And I wish that he had known about the ancestors that he had that were, barons and, mayor of London. And I mean, some things that kind of blew me away. And I thought about him being proud of himself. And then I realized that a lot of my shame of being raised by, a father who was uneducated and poor, and my mother was an orphan, and, having trouble being around people, professionals, educated, having trouble being around men that wore slacks instead of blue jeans. This has been a real issue for me. Just not being able to relate or to be able to talk to them or feeling like I wasn't good enough or whatever. And I realized that my shame came from his shame.
Right.
And his shame came from his father's shame.
Right.
And I was like, wow. And I passed it on to my daughter. Just and I can let that go, recognizing that it's not my shame.
Right.
It's my pride that, that my father accomplished this. And look what I accomplished in my life without education. And so it was a real turning point.
Right.
Yeah. We do the session and then I continue to process and other things pop up and I have aha moments all through the week.
Cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. And so and then I have, bad things pop up, not good.
Right.
So, one of the things that popped up was that I realized how afraid I was of my daughter and her rejection, her rejecting me. We've had issues for years and we were estranged for about 20 years and Ashley hadn't seen her for 2 years. And, she'd been back in my life for 2 years now, but she has a lot of anger towards me. And I can sit with her, like we had lunch yesterday, and I could sit with her and I see a very pretty, smart, successful, gifted woman. And she's looking at me thinking, this is someone I can't trust, that I don't like, that I don't approve of. She's never liked my personality. She's never liked the way I dressed. I mean, there's nothing about me that she likes. And so I'm trying to see what my notes said here that I've written down through the week. Yeah, it's basically, when we have a conversation, it's telling me not just how I ruined her life, but that I'm responsible for all the bad decisions she has made as an adult. And that was my aha moment in October 2013 when I left after Robert tapped on me in the magic chair, was that if I stopped blaming my father for all of the poor decisions I had made as an adult and took responsibility, only then could I change. And hearing her say those things to me, you know, she said she's messed up and she's messed up her children's life and it's her fault and she's admitting it, but she wants me to admit it, that I messed up her life and so on and so forth, and wants me to feel sorry for her. And I just want her to not be a victim. I don't see what she sees. She doesn't, she thinks she's ugly.
You no longer see what she sees.
Pardon?
You no longer see what she sees.
Yeah.
Because you used to see it.
I don't see what she sees in herself.
But you used to see it because you saw it in yourself. Now you don't see it in yourself anymore, so you don't see it in her anymore.
Yeah, when I was with my granddaughter last week and she was talking about, I don't want my body to be the shape of mommy's. I want my body to be shaped like daddy's because, my daughter's gained 25 pounds in the last year. Mm-hmm. And so she said, and that's the first time she's ever said anything negative about her mom. She said, I want somebody that can run with me and work out with me, and I'm going to be like my dad. I'm going to work out every day. And, and so she's just starting to disrespect her mom. And I didn't like to hear that. But, when my daughter constantly talks about how fat and ugly she is in front of her daughter, well, and I say, Marissa, the older you get, the more you look like your mommy, and you're getting really pretty. You're going from being cute to being pretty because you look like your mommy. I don't look like my mom. I don't look like my mommy. She doesn't want to look like her because mommy's ugly. She doesn't want to look like her because mommy's fat. Mommy's a loser. So, I've been struggling. I've been struggling the last 2 years trying to get my daughter to get help for herself because she's very unhappy. She never smiles. She never laughs. She was angry with me for playing a practical joke on my granddaughter on her birthday, and she didn't think it was funny, and she was really, really upset with me about it. Instead of saying, well, let's get grandma back. We'll get her, and have fun with it. She was like, no, it wasn't funny. We have a different sense of humor. That wasn't funny. I'm like, really? So, she basically spent 2 hours attacking me, telling me what a terrible mother I was. And it's hard, It's hard because I don't see that in her. I'll say, do you realize that you're teaching your daughter to focus on what she doesn't have instead of what she has? And she just doesn't get it. It's, poor little thing. And you're questioning my parenting. I know I'm a horrible mother, and I know I caused all this. I screwed up their lives, and she'll just go on and on and on. I'm admitting it, but you won't. You won't admit how you screwed my life up, and all the decisions I've made. They're because of you. I wouldn't have married my husband if it, what'd you expect? I mean, look at my childhood. Mine was a lot worse than yours. I'm like, so she's not going to get help. I need to let it go and work on being happy and somehow be a mother, but be disconnected from all of her drama, all the tragedy, all the financial stuff that's going on in her life, because, I can't sleep at night. I'm worried all the time about her. I get a text and I get part of a story and I worry about because I didn't get all stories. She won't talk to me on the phone because she hates to talk on the phone. And it's just, there's not a connection. There's no partnership, So it's just like, it's kind of hanging over me. If she has a financial emergency, and she really, really needs money, I don't want to be surprised like I was last year. I don't want a surprise. I want to know what's going on. And so that I know what to expect. So, I bought her a house and I'm trying to get buy it, which was supposed to happen last year, and now it's not going to happen until 2017. I want to cry every time I have to go over and do a work day over there. It's like she should be taking off work to do this, meet with the handyman. She should be paying for this. But no, it's my house. I'm doing the maintenance on it. If it was up to her, it wouldn't be done. And it's an investment. I have to take care of it. I can't neglect it. I can't just say, it's on you, because it's my house. So I'm really tired. I'm discouraged. I don't feel like I have control over my life. I feel like that she has control over my life. She has control over my finances, my emotions. I can tell because I had a splitting headache yesterday. My stomach hurt really bad. I couldn't sleep. It's 2 nights in a row now I haven't slept because I'm worrying about stuff, or, I just want to sit down and cry. And then I think, well, if I do, I probably won't stop. So, don't want to start. I just want to be free. I want to be free from all the judgment and condemnation, and I want to be able to go be around people and not worry about them not liking me because my daughter doesn't like me. It kind of, that's what it was like with my mom. My mom didn't like my personality. She didn't like the way I was. And now I have a daughter that does the same thing. So, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
You understand you're still doing this into your life.
Pardon?
You understand that you're still drawing this into your life. You haven't yet let go of this issue with your mom. Okay?
Yes. Yeah, it is so, there is such a parallel between it. The way that, my mother would, if I was talkative and friendly, she would say I was flighty. If I was quiet, she would say I was snob. My daughter would scold me if I talked to somebody that I didn't know in a grocery store when she was little. I mean, she's never approved of me. My mother never approved of me. And we've worked on that. And big shifts on my self-image and how I look. But,
Okay, well, we still have some more work to do.
Yeah, but I think some of it has to do with her disapproval of me as a person. She disapproved of me as a person and never accepted me because I was different than her. And now my daughter, she kept saying, well, we're not anything alike. We're just very different. I didn't think that was funny. I didn't think that giving her
Feel all that. Put both your mom on one side, your daughter on the other side. Put it all together, wrapped up in a box. All the disapproval, all the judgment, all the condemnation. Feel the headaches, the stomach aches, the can't sleep, that desire to cry. They have control over my life. They have control over my finances. They have control over my emotions. Know how you know it, know how you feel it. Put it all together. Put it on that branch of the tree.
We need to add my brother in there too, because I've never worked on my brother, but he does exactly the same thing.
Add your brother in there too. Okay, and put it all on that branch in the tree and make sure it doesn't roll off and roll away. Okay, got all there? Okay, now I want you to go back to that memory You and your daughter just having fun running through those aisles of the grocery store with the shopping cart. Remember that memory?
I do.
Okay, go back to all the bad stuff. All back there, wrapped up together inside a box on the tree branch. Okay, what would happen to that tree if it didn't have roots?
We just fall over and die.
No, it would all fly away like butterflies, because that's what imaginary trees without roots do. Flutter away like butterflies and disappear. And I want you to imagine yourself outside on a windy day with a bunch of multicolored, biodegradable helium balloons. And what would happen if in each one of those helium balloons you put one of those issues, one of those people, the condemnation, the judgment, the stomach ache, the headaches, the need to cry, the worry that people aren't going to like me because my mom doesn't like me, worry that people aren't going to like me, that's my daughter doesn't like me, all those things in each one of those. You have a whole bunch of helium balloons there. And you're holding them, and it's a windy day, and I would open up your fist. What would happen to all those balloons?
They'd all float away out of sight.
And disappear, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start tapping. Letting go of all fears.
Letting go of all fears.
Letting go of all sadnesses.
Letting go of all sadnesses.
Letting go of all emotional traumas.
Letting go of all emotional traumas.
Letting go of the helplessness.
Letting go of the helplessness.
Letting go of the hopelessness.
Letting go of the hopelessness.
Letting go of the no control.
Letting go of the no control.
Letting go of the condemnations.
Letting go of the condemnation.
Letting go of the judgment.
Letting go of the judgment.
Letting go of the worry.
Letting go of the worry.
Letting go of the disapproval.
Letting go of the disapproval.
Letting go of the stomach aches.
Letting go of the stomach aches.
Letting go of the headaches.
Letting go of the headaches.
Letting go of the fears.
Letting go of the fear.
Letting go of everything else that supported that old problem.
Letting go of everything else to support this old problem.
It's safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
Time to let it go.
Whatever it all means.
Whatever it all means.
Whatever it represents.
Whatever it represents.
Whoever gave it to me.
Whoever gave it to me.
All the sensations.
All the sensations.
All the colors.
All the colors.
All the images.
All the images.
Everything else.
Everything else.
I forgive them.
I forgive them.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
And I change it to self-love.
I change it to self-love.
Self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance.
And self-forgiveness.
And self-forgiveness.
Just the way that I am.
Just the way that I am.
I am perfect with all my imperfections.
I'm perfect in all my imperfections.
I am safe.
I'm safe.
Breathe in. Blow out. Grab your wrist. Which supermarket did you go to? Was it a ShopRite?
Probably,
Food Town?
probably Thriftway.
Thriftway. Never heard of Thriftway.
We have grocery stores here called Hen House.
Hen House.
Is that a funny name?
Yeah.
I know.
Not sure I want to go shopping in a grocery store called Hen House.
Know. That's a great deli. Really good deli, salad bar. It's a good grocery store. It's just weird. It's got Hen House, a little picture next to the logo.
Okay.
I don't know. It sounds like something. Something with dead chickens, isn't it?
Yep, that's what it sounds like to me. Or live chickens with all the smells entailed.
I know. I know.
Okay, say peace.
Peace.
Go back into it all. All those fears, the disapproval. You're not like me. You don't understand. I don't like you. No one else is going to like you because I don't like you. Has it changed?
I'm angry now.
Okay, feel the anger.
Which is good.
How strong?
It's an 8. I can feel it in my jaws.
Okay.
You know, it went from me just feeling really sad that the one person, the two people that I wanted to love me unconditionally and approve of me are the two people that don't, you know.
Right.
You want people to like you. What do you really want your kids to like you? You want your mom to like you. You know, you want to be able to be yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm getting angry about it because
So feel the anger. Know where you feel it, how you feel it, how strong you feel it. Step into it and start tapping. Let it go.
let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Safe to let it go.
Safe to let it go.
Time to let it go.
Time to let it go.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
All the king's horses and all the king's men
All the king's horses and all the king's men
couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Grab
I
your
was just
wrist.
thinking about the hen house with all the eggs.
Yep,
Humpty
that's
Dumpty.
right. Think of all those Humpty Dumptys sitting on the wall. Peace. Okay.
I'd like to think of the Humpty Dumpty as, you know, crashing, all those things falling off the wall and crashing into pieces, but it's like I think more of Humpty Dumpty falling and not being able to put my relationship back together with my daughter that I had when she was little. I mean, I have a lot of good memories. I have a lot of happy memories. I have a lot of wonderful memories of myself and my daughter. And
Okay.
it breaks my heart to think that she said her whole childhood was terrible, was awful, was
Want you to
miserable.
go into those good memories. Go into them, feel them. Use all your 5 senses to make them as strong as you can. And I want you to send those good feelings over to your daughter.
I was seeing her with the badminton racket hitting them back at me.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want them. She wants to be miserable.
That's okay.
She didn't want it.
It's her choice. She wants to
No.
be miserable. She can be miserable. But that's her choice, not yours.
I just sprayed hairspray on the tennis racket, so they're all sticking on it. Just trying to hit them back. They're all stuck all over there. All those good memories, all those good intentions, all the love.
I want you to step into her shoes. Step into her shoes in your mind. Okay? And start tapping. I don't want these good memories.
I don't want these good memories.
Only want the bad ones.
I only want the bad ones.
Who am I going to blame if I don't have all these bad memories?
Who am I going to blame if I don't have all these bad memories?
I have to take responsibility for myself.
I'd have to take responsibility for myself.
Wouldn't want that, would I now?
I wouldn't want that, would I now?
Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
Safe to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
All my mom's disapproval
All my mom's disapproval
came because she disapproved of me, of herself.
I know she disapproved herself.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
She was just reflecting it on me.
She was just reflecting it on me.
And that's what my daughter's doing too.
And that's what my daughter's doing too.
Whatever she says to me
Whatever she says to me
is a reflection of what she feels about herself.
is a reflection of what she feels about herself.
And if she wants to feel that she ruined her children's life,
If she wants to feel she ruined her children's lives,
it's a sad choice,
it's a sad choice.
but it's her choice.
But it's her choice.
But I didn't ruin her life.
But I didn't ruin her life.
I did the best I could.
I did the best I could. That's what I told her.
And I had lots of good times with her.
And I had lots of good times with her.
And it's her choice whether she wants to remember them or not.
And it's her choice whether she wants to remember them or not.
But you can't take those memories away from me.
She can't take those memories away from me.
I hold them deep in my heart.
I hold them deep in my heart.
And I focus on them.
And I focus on them.
Because that's what I want to see in my future.
Because that's what I want to see in my future.
I'm safe. Grab your wrist. Breathe in. Blow out. Peace.
Peace.
Okay, go back. What's your daughter feeling when you're stepping in her shoes?
She's waving the racket, trying to shake all this stuff off.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm seeing feathers. I guess I'm thinking of a badminton.
Thinking about the hen house.
Birdie. Yeah, I'm thinking about the hen house, the badminton birdie, but for some reason, all these little birdies, you know how they have the plastic feathers? They're all stuck all over. Okay. She's trying to shake it off. It's not working.
Right. Okay. Go into your daughter's shoes again.
Okay.
See what she's feeling. And start tapping. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
Time to let it go.
It's time to let it go.
Safe to feel the good feelings.
It's safe to feel the good feelings.
Safe to have the good memories.
Safe to have the good memories.
Safe to keep the good memories.
Safe to keep the good memories.
I'm safe.
I am safe.
Grab your wrist. Breathe in. Blow out. Peace.
Peace.
Okay, go back. Step in your daughter's shoes and see what she's doing now.
She's turning the racket around, looking at them. There's a dozen little badminton birdies that are glued to her racket.
What's the expression on her face? Okay, so
yeah, she's looking at it because I've told her about shared happy memories with my granddaughter in front of her. I don't remember that.
So what's the expression on her face?
Curiosity, like, what are these?
Okay, start tapping. She's looking curious.
She's looking curious.
I'm looking curious.
I'm looking curious.
All those good times.
All those good times.
We had some really good times.
We had some really good times.
Safe to allow them in.
It's safe to love them then, yeah.
Safe to remember them.
It's safe to remember them.
Safe to keep in my heart.
Safe to keep them in my heart.
And safe to attract more of them.
It's safe to attract more of them.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Grab your wrist. Breathe in. Blow out. Peace.
Peace.
Okay. Go back. See her in your mind. What you doing now?
She's pulling them off to look at them and see what they are. And there's a memory written on the tip of them. The red part, rubber part.
Mm-hmm.
There's a memory. She's looking at them. She's going, I don't remember that. She pulls off another one and says, I kind of remember that. It's almost like, let's say 60% of her life sucked, and the 40% she chose to ignore. So the focus is on the 60%, and she can't look at the 40% because then it'll make her forget about the 60% that's miserable.
Right.
So, no, I can't look at that. I can't be happy. It would ruin my whole plan for my life. And then I have to take responsibility for marrying this jerk, and staying with him for 20 years.
It's interesting. I just heard an Abraham Hicks video today, and she mentions about how when you have a GPS in your car, you put in the GPS where you want to go to. Now, the GPS looks at where you are right now, and it gives you directions of how to get to where you want to go to. It doesn't tell you well, yesterday you didn't listen to me, so I'm not going to tell you today. It doesn't tell you, yesterday you were mean to me, so I'm going to be mean to you today and make you take a long way around. It just tells you how to get to where you want to get to. Now, the same thing is with your life. You're where you are right now. Look to where you want to get to. Don't look back and say, well, that's where I was, so I'm going to take it out of my future too.
And I realized when I was talking about my daughter, and I realized that she doesn't want me to remember those happy things either, because that messes up her plan too. And I want to, when I'm with her, I want to talk about those happy things.
Right.
And I actually just, what I was thinking was, maybe I need to be writing those down.
Yeah.
Every time one pops in my head.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
Yeah. And she gave me a notebook for Christmas, like an album type thing. And I've thumbed through it, and it has questions that I either don't remember because she's 41, I don't remember. Things that were really bad that had to do with her father that I'm not going to write down there. What is your father, what would you say? What was my father's reaction when he found out I was pregnant? Well, he cheated on me with, my best friend and my sister, and I've looked through it. None of it is it's all negative stuff.
Rewrite it. This is your perfect chance. Rewrite it to the way you want it to be, and then give it back to her, rewritten.
The questions are very specific.
Okay, what was my father's reaction when she found out that I was pregnant? He was jumping from joy. He was so happy. He wanted a little baby girl so badly.
Yeah, I thought that very thing. Actually, I have it on my dining room table. This is just since our last session. And I looked down and I thought, what if I wrote in there what I would have wanted to happen?
Yeah.
And made the whole thing up.
Who cares? It's never too late to have a good childhood.
And I thought, I think I was going to take the book and do, word processor and kind of do something and then fill it in later. But, would she be really upset, angry with me if she knew that it was all made up? I mean, it was like things like, my first day of school and stuff that, it's 41 years ago. I don't remember any of that. But what if I did just make it all up and make it what I wanted it to be?
It's called rewriting your life.
Yeah. And what if I gave that to her and it was a new story. It was a new story for her, a new life for her.
Yeah.
I could even make it to where it started with her own father, who left when she was 15 months old. And he was her father through her whole life. And the bad father, the one she had for 8 years, that was so awful, what if he didn't even exist?
Right.
I did that with one of my husbands. I was doing a shelving technique with somebody, and it was just a really fast one. And we were taking it down, putting it on the shelf kind of thing. And when I got ready to do him, I just looked, my eyes looked at him and said, I didn't marry him. I can do that.
Yep.
I knew that he was my last one. I knew I shouldn't have married him. And so I didn't. It didn't happen. So I totally agree with you. That was a good confirmation of what I've been feeling like that I should be doing for her and for me.
Yeah.
Because I was there that whole 8 years. I was there through her whole life. And, it wasn't all fun and games, but between us, it was good until she was like 14. So, I remember, I have wonderful memories of us. So anyway,
but those are the forefront. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've heard Esther Hicks, she uses that a lot in her videos about the GPS.
Right. But she's right.
I know.
That's the whole thing about taking, who cares about your past? Where are you going from here?
Yeah.
That's what counts.
And I'm just going to throw this in because it's kind of an aside, but I was talking about being uncomfortable about around men that were educated, professional, that kind of thing. The man that took over my American history group that I'm in, I actually met him last month. Actually, we've been emailing, but I actually met him last month, and he's close to my age. I think he's single. I don't know if he's a widower or if he's divorced. Very nice person, beautiful, wonderful daughter. She was just awesome. But I'm going to see him Thursday night again at our next meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious to see if I've changed, because when I tried to talk to him, I just kind of, I couldn't talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a retired plastic surgeon. I couldn't talk to him. Okay. So that was kind of a little aside. It'll be interesting to see the shift and see if I'm more comfortable with somebody who is educated, professional man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So who knows?
Who knows?
So anyway.
Okay, so go back to your daughter and see what she's doing.
Okay. She is for some reason, instead of the birdies, the rubber tips, instead of being glued onto the badminton racket, they're stuck with Cool Whip. She's picking the Cool Whip off of them and putting them in a little pouch that she has next to her. Because the writing is all around, like here's the tip, and with the tip, and there's Cool Whip on the end. The writing is kind of in a circle, the
And
memory.
what's she feeling?
So she's feeling good. She's like, I get a happy memory and Cool Whip.
Good.
So she's sticking them. She's collecting them.
Because you realize that at the beginning, when she didn't want to have the good memories, that was you.
Yes. Oh, yes.
It's
because
all you.
The guilt.
It's all you.
My gosh. I felt guilty about having good memories because she didn't have good memories. And I couldn't have happy memories because I had to be miserable because she was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Well, I did notice last week when I was at her house that when she came home from work, she sat down on the sofa and she looked really sad. And my granddaughter looked really sad. And then I became really sad watching them be really sad.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time I left, I just wanted to get out of there because it was just a heavy, sad atmosphere. And I wanted to run away because I couldn't fix it.
Right.
So, okay. So she's collecting all these happy memories and putting them in her little blue pink bag, but she doesn't wear pink. She only wears black because she's trying to disappear. Don't want anybody to see her. So, and I'm seeing her, you know what? It's kind of like a little Easter basket. She's got on a cute little pink dress with a lace apron. I don't know what you call that. Like pinafore.
Right,
A little sheer white apron.
Yeah.
She's got a big pink bow in her hair. And she's got her badminton racket. And any of these happy memories that are falling on the ground in this beautiful green grass with flowers all around. She's picking them up, scooping them up. She's taking them off. She's licking off the Cool Whip. And they're different flavors because there's chocolate and strawberry too. She's putting them in her little, it's kind of a pink canvas bag. So she's skipping. She's got her little white patent shoes and her white lace socks and her little white lace gloves. And she's just skipping around the yard, picking up these happy memories.
Cool. Very cool.
Kind of like picking up balls, put them in your pocket. Picking up balls, put them in your pocket. You know that song?
Yeah.
Picking up balls. way down yonder in the pawpaw patch.
I think I heard it once.
Up.
I must have heard it at some point or other. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I must have heard it.
I wonder what that is.
Hmm.
I'll look see if there. You know, there's YouTube videos for everything. There's a YouTube video for this song.
Right.
Okay. So she
Anyway.
is happy.
So when you go back thinking about your daughter now, how do you, and your mom and their disapproval, how do you feel?
Well, you know what? I see us a white picket fence, and it's my mom's yard. The grass is bright green, almost like astroturf, and we're sitting on a little white bench, and we have on. It looks like Easter dresses, are very flowery, whatever, and they match her dress because my mom and I once had dresses that matched.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big thing. You could buy a catalog, mother and daughter dresses.
Right.
So
you still can.
So we had. Do they still have it?
They still have those things. Yeah, you go to the Wooden Soldier. You go to even in Land's End in the Christmas season and Easter season. You can get that.
Matching
and you can
dresses.
get matching. You can get matching boy stuff too, like with their sweaters that match with the same pattern and things like that.
The only thing is my granddaughter wears, glitter and sequins and bright fuchsias, and my daughter wears black. So that wouldn't work. So anyway.
Well, when you see her,
okay,
when
so
you see her inside your mind, she's not wearing black, is she?
No, we have on the same dress we have on the same dress my daughter has on, except we don't have the white pinafore. We just have, it's got covered with flowers that are tulips. It's a tulip dress, and each one of us has a tulip dress on.
Right.
And we're laughing at her, picking up her little birdies, licking off the Cool Whip. And we had laid them out in a pattern on the grass in a certain ways. They led to a playhouse.
Cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
A little plastic playhouse with a pink roof. And she's so busy picking up these things that she didn't see it until she got right there, and she looks up, and there's her plastic playhouse.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is a good place to end the segment.
Yeah.
So till next week, we'll see what happens, what great shifts you have next week. Okay.
Okay. It's going to be a fun week. Thank you. Appreciate